Hey everyone! I know I don't normally go live on Sundays, or hardly any days nowadays, actually. But yesterday was 11/11, and I did a few rituals yesterday, and I got a lot of downloads from it. So I was just going to talk about what I did yesterday and the things that I got from it. I usually don't do anything for 11/11, but this year, for some reason, I felt led to do something because I felt stuck spiritually and I felt like I needed to do something. So I set up my space, I set up my room. So basically, I did like a lock-in. So I put sheets down. I put my yoga mat down. Well, let me backtrack. So I cleaned the room first. I cleaned the room. I set up my altar really nice that I have. I cleaned the room with, I wiped it down with just like Lysol wipes. I swept, I mopped, and then I also mopped again with Florida water to kind of like cleanse the space, and then I saged. I put a white sheet down. I had a white pillow. I put my, what do you call it? My yoga mat down and everything. From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., I stayed in the room. And I only drank water and juice. So I didn't eat that entire time. And yeah, and this room has a bathroom in it, so I didn't have to worry about leaving the room at all. And so all I did was journal, pray, meditate, do yoga, and I did that all throughout the 12, and I dozed off a little bit for about an hour. But for the most part, I was just up. I did a vision board. I did a lot. I did a lot in 12 hours because I felt like, I don't know. It's just like I'm almost there. And I'm still at the part of my spirituality where I'm trying to figure out what my main purpose is. Like okay, I'm awake and I'm going through the journey and I'm going through the things. Now what? Like what are my goals? Like what am I supposed to do with this, with the knowledge that I have, with the gifts that I have? Like what do I need to be doing? And so that's, for me, that's still kind of up in the air. I feel like it's going to have something to do with astrology a little bit because I'm very into astrology. But I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where it's going. So, hold on. I wanted to do this earlier, but I was busy today. When I was shut off from the world yesterday, I had to catch up, go see family and stuff like that. Some people didn't know what the hell was going on, but I needed it. I needed time away. It was a detox from everything. It was a detox from food, a detox from social media, people. It was just me and spirit, and that's it. And that's really what I needed. That's really what I needed to do, because I kept pushing back. Oh, I'll meditate tomorrow, or oh, I'll do this tomorrow. I kept pushing everything back till tomorrow. And so finally I was just like, no, I need to just allot some time to just, connect with God, connect with spirit, figure out what's going on. So at 9 a.m. I sat down and I wrote down all my intentions for being in this lock-in. And all of my intentions were met, except I'm not really sure if I got the answer about what my aligned purpose is. I'm not really sure. So I'm still kind of like figuring that shit out. And I also wrote an ongoing list as the hours were going on about what I'm going to do after this is over. And I started to get some ideas about, just getting closer with certain family members, being more intentional about things. Like I have a whole list. Both of those lists are kind of personal, so I'm not going to share those. But I wrote down like what I wanted to get in that time, and then what I was going to do after to continue on, basically with my growth, with what I got from the lock-in. So, one of the things that I wrote down in my journal, like one of the downloads that I really, really got, I hear like it's either a lot of people are single or they're having relationship issues. When people are in happy relationships, you don't really hear about it. So if you hear a lot about somebody's relationship, they're either in like a situationship or they're having issues in a relationship. So one of the downloads that I got that was personal, I felt like to me and maybe to other people, was how do you know if the person you are with is the one or not when you never gave them a chance emotionally? Now, this one hit me hard because I'm a brick wall sometimes. And so sometimes it can be hard for me to like truly open up. And to me, I feel like, how can you, like, if you're not giving somebody a chance emotionally, like if you're kind of shooting them down, like for instance, I don't know, they give you a compliment and you kind of just like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks. That kind of shoots them down, even though you think, you know, it's nothing. But I feel like emotionally that kind of starts to chip away at somebody, or, you know, when they do things for you and it's not really accepted, or even if they're trying to tell you their emotions and you're not really listening to it, or you're listening to their emotions and you're understanding their emotions, but you're not opening yourself up and being vulnerable and letting them know how you feel. But you get upset when, I don't know, they're not doing certain things that you want, or you're not advocating for yourself and letting them know these are the certain things that you need to be in a relationship. That's not giving them a chance. It's almost like you're setting the relationship up for failure. And I feel like people do that just in general so they can have control of the relationship. Because the main thing throughout this entire journey, since I started like a couple of years ago, got serious a couple of years ago, is control. I didn't realize how much I felt like I needed to control everything, because a lot of it is subconscious. Like you don't realize like how much you really try to control every aspect of your life, to the degree that I was trying to control it. And I will say these past almost 5 years now, I've really gotten better with that. But I didn't realize that I was taking it into friendships, relationships, the relationships with my family. So not even the person that you with, but just everybody, give them an emotional chance. Your friends, your family, even if they look at you weird. Or I always feel like if you express yourself with like authenticity, now I can't speak English, and they don't give you the response that you need, or they make you feel bad about how you feel, then that's on them. That's not on you. And if you're trying to be in a relationship with this person, they shouldn't be in your life. If this is a family member, then maybe you shouldn't try to get close to them, or maybe just keep them at a certain distance, because everybody has their lane, and you just got to make sure you put everybody in their box. If somebody really cares about you, they would not make you feel bad for how you feel. Like when people say, oh, they love bombed me and all that other stuff, I don't believe in none of that. If you really truly love somebody and you tell them you love them and they feel like you bothered them or you love bombed them or whatever the case is, they don't really care about you for real, or they're not really ready for a committed relationship. Because even if they don't love you yet, they would still accept it and still want to be with you if they really cared about you in a relationship. So that's how I feel about that. Another download that I've gotten, and if you have anything you want to comment or anything you want to say, you can say it. You don't have to just listen. You can interact with me as well. I know I'm not doing my typical selling my crystals and stuff like that, but you can still interact with me at any time. Your mistakes does not determine your value. And this was a big one for me because I literally just kind of blew up a little bit at my boss because I get very territorial about my work. I love what I do. I'm a communications manager. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. I'm a communications manager, and I love graphic design. I love social media. I love, design, social media. I like planning, so I like campaign planning, and I'm very like into that shit. And so when mistakes are made, I kind of take offense, and I take myself very seriously, which that's something else that I'm also working on. So your mistakes does not determine your value hit me hard, because I do that. And I do that at work. I do that with friendships, relationships. Like if I make a mistake, I come down hard on myself to the point where I feel like I've lost relationships with people just in general because I'll fuck up and do something. And I'll take it so hard on myself, like, damn, why did I do that? That I'll back up away from that person because I feel so bad about it. And I start to kind of, I don't want to say devalue myself, but I really come down on myself. And I feel like, damn, like, they probably don't want to fuck with me no more. So I guess I do devalue myself. And things like that. So one of the main downloads was, your mistakes does not determine your value. Like, I really needed to hear that. Yeah, I really needed to hear that. I think I was doing, what was I doing? I think I was doing yoga when I got that one. I think that was part of the ritual when I was doing like my yoga. And I kind of just like randomly got that download that I didn't need to do that. No, that's a lie. I was writing in my shadow workbook. I have a shadow workbook. And I was writing in my shadow workbook, and that's when I got that that download. So if you're just joining, I did a gateway ritual yesterday for 11/11. It was 12 hours straight of me just journaling, doing yoga, praying, meditating, and I'm just sharing some of the downloads that I got from 11/11. So that's what I'm talking about right now. So the next download that I got was, practice getting closer to God by healing close relationships. I don't even know what I was doing when I got that one. But that was a big one, because I've been trying so hard to really figure out the spiritual journey, and with all the information and all of the things, and there's so many different things to look at when you go through this journey. And I didn't even think about how can you cultivate a relationship with spirit and with God and with your angels if you can't even keep close relationships together in your physical life, let alone in the spiritual realm. So that triggered like a ding, like an aha moment, like duh. Like, so one of the things that I decided to do, that I've written down what I would do after Gateway, was I need to start healing close relationships with my family members, with my grandma, my aunt, with some friends that were kind of friends, but it's like that weird lingering issue that we never really talked about. And like, yeah, I'm hashing out all of that, and whatever happens, but practicing getting closer to God. No, practice getting closer to God by healing close relationships. That is a big one. Because some people are supposed to be in your life. It's just up to us to put effort and try and figure out if they're supposed to be in our lives or not. Because I'm quick to cut somebody off. Like, I will cut somebody off. I'm not going to hold you. Like, I will just be like, well, delete or block or whatever, or ghost, but that was another download that I needed. So I need to be more vulnerable, like I was talking about earlier with the relationship thing. I need to be more vulnerable, express myself more, etc. So yeah. The next one that I wrote down was, I guess I'll share this one. God and my higher self has been telling me the same thing all along, and I need to apologize to myself for not listening. If you've ever had like nudges about, I don't know, anything, if you ever had nudges about anything, and then finally at the end, you figure it out from somebody else, it's kind of like, duh, like I need to apologize for myself for not listening. The same theme throughout my entire journal has been popping up. Like, I need to be more confident. I need to advocate for myself more. You need to be more confident. You need to advocate for yourself more. I've been writing that in my journal for 3 years now. 3 whole years I've been writing this in my journal. And I was watching Imani, also known as the Hood Healer, and she was like, hold on. The topic that she was talking about on one of her lives was, why don't you have the money to do the things you want? And the answer was, self-love is lacking. And so I'm writing it down as if this is the first time that I've ever heard of this. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm writing it down and I'm like, yeah, more self-love, more self-respect, understanding, all of that. And then I wrote down, why am I having a hard time showing up to be my true self, blah, 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 all the things. Like, I was all into it. And then when I did the ritual yesterday and I was reading through my journal, and then I was like, this is a common theme that I've been telling myself for 3 years. I want to be more confident. Like, starting from the very beginning, like, one of my affirmations back in 2021, I'm an advocate for myself. I speak my truth even when I feel embarrassed. It was another one in here. I don't know. I have to flip through a lot of pages, but it was another in here basically saying that I felt like I didn't get a certain position because I wasn't confident in myself. And that was a high dollar position. But I feel like they felt that I wasn't confident, even though I knew I could have done the work. When I sat in front of them, like, my confidence went, zoop. So, but yeah, it's all through here. And I'm like, damn, I've been telling myself that I need to do better with my confidence and I need to advocate for myself. I'm sorry, I think something got my eye. I need to advocate for myself for a long time, for years. And it took me to do a damn 12-hour ritual to really sit my ass down, to really figure out, or for it to really click, like, yourself has been, and it's been other themes in here too, but that's like a big one. Like, it's been telling myself all along, like, you need to have more confidence in yourself and advocate for yourself, and so on and so forth. So God and my higher self has been telling me the same thing all along. I need to apologize to myself for not listening. And I did. I wrote a letter to myself and everything. And mirror work is very important. I wrote a letter and then I read it to myself in the mirror. That's really important, to talk to yourself. Not just have like full-blown random conversations, but to speak affirmations to yourself. And when you do inner childhood work, writing a letter to your younger self and reading it to yourself in the mirror helps. Yeah. I just recently started doing mirror work. 'Cause I always thought it was kind of eerie to kind of stare at yourself. But anyway. So that was another big one for me. And then stop being so serious is blocking your abundance is also another one, which goes back towards the confidence and back towards the wall and the blocking. Like, all of these kind of interlink to basically, I need to open up more, be more vulnerable, stop being so serious, because it's blocking my abundance. It's like, I know I'm really close to, I'm really close. Not, I don't want to say to the finish line, because even when I make it to my purpose and even when I do get abundance and all the other things, I know I'm gonna have still more work to do, but I'm just like so close. But I just think me being so serious is really blocking my abundance. It's really blocking my creative thoughts. It's just blocking. It's just a lot of blockages from me taking life so serious. And I always tell other people not to take life so serious, but I take myself serious. I take my work serious. I'm always taking something serious. So that's just something I need to work on, just in general. And the last one is, I rely on too many outside sources to ensure my level of spirituality is on track. And I do this all the time. I follow a lot of people. Not a lot of people. I follow like 3 people, 2 on YouTube and 1 on IG. And I'm constantly like checking their content, seeing if I'm going the right direction in my journey and like what are the things that I need to do, yada yada yada. Honestly, after reading through my journal, I've been telling myself what I need to do, but I've been so focused on getting knowledge from other people to make sure that I'm on track, to make sure that I'm understanding what's going on right, that I haven't been listening to myself. So me apologizing to myself really helped, because I was just like, damn, I've been neglecting my own thoughts, my own conclusions for the sake of somebody else's, and they're not living my life. I'm living my life. So it's good to kind of have a resource around, but at the end of the day, in this shit, like, you have to have your own conclusions. You have to do your own research and have your own downloads and actually use them and be confident in the downloads that you receive, instead of waiting on someone else to receive the same download to confirm it. I just need to get it and then just move on with life. And that's for anybody. I feel like we get the nudges, we get the intuition pops, but we wait for exterior confirmation when really we should only be confirming what our higher self says in our own personal life. So those are my 11/11 downloads. The ritual was great. Like, I came out of it feeling different. Feeling so different. I had some downloads. I had some cries. I had some realizations. Yeah, it was really good. I'm definitely going to do that next year. And I might do it for the spring solstice. So spring equinox. So, yeah, I really needed that. I felt like I really cleansed some emotional shit, and I don't feel stuck anymore, because I was feeling spiritually stuck. I feel like anytime you're feeling spiritually stuck, you should probably fast. If not food, give something up. Meditate a lot more than normal. If you meditate like 5 minutes a day, I would say take a day and meditate for maybe like 20-30 minutes, or maybe throughout the day just do like small meditations, but allot some more time than normal, so you can kind of listen to spirit a little bit more. If you don't have an altar, I would suggest maybe getting one, doing some altar work, some mirror work, so you don't feel stuck. A lot of times too, if you feel stuck spiritually, doing community service helps. Giving back to somebody, feeding the homeless, planting a tree. Aside from volunteering, going for a walk, being in nature, going on a hike. Sorry, my voice sounds like this. I really need to get some water. Go on a hike or something. Put your feet in the dirt. Touch some trees. Hug a tree. Touch some leaves. Yeah. But you really want to loosen some stuff up spiritually, helping somebody, and just being a light to somebody else for free, and spending your own time with people that need it definitely puts you in a different perspective, and it will definitely help move you in a better direction in your spiritual journey. So thank you for everybody who popped in. This was just like a quick live that I wanted to do. Like I said, I wanted to do it earlier, but I got kind of busy today out of nowhere. So yeah, and I will be back on Wednesday for the crystal pop-up. I have a slightly new setup. So yeah, I'll see you guys Wednesday at 8:30.